Doors closing.
Happy hour. Happy hour.
What's up? This is Happy Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe, live from the Personify Studios in beautiful St. Petersburg, Florida. And right here is one of the 17 sponsors of Happy Hour, and one of the biggest ones, Richard from Strange Cloudz of Clearwater at 2222 Main Street in Clearwater. He is here on Happy Hour. What's up, Richard?
How you doing, Hoppe? Glad to be here, man. Thanks.
What do you think of these studios?
This is amazing. I mean, my God. The last time we did it was, was amateur hour compared to this. This is incredible. Huge upgrade.
I know. And ever since I last saw you, you've also opened up Strange Cloudz of Clearwater. How is that?
Absolutely. Finally, we opened up January 5th, Strange Cloudz Clearwater. That's at 2222 Main Street.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's basically State Road 580, right by the mall. We just opened up. It's been an incredible journey. The first 90 days has been fantastic, and we've been doing really well. We have a lot of events and other things coming up pretty soon. We have a 420 event coming up tomorrow, which is going to be fantastic.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, so we got like a live band. We've got a joint rolling contest, which is going to be really cool with a cash prize. We've got food, pretty much free to the public. It's just going to be a huge bash, and we're really happy to see people come.
How long did this whole process take of setting up this 420 crawl?
Oh, well, the 420 crawl's been about a month in the making. We've been putting together all the marketing materials and putting together, all of the bands and the resources and stuff like that. So it's really one of the bigger jams that we have at Strange Cloudz.
And a winner receives a medical free. Wait, let me see here. I'm starting to need glasses, by the way.
I hear you.
I think as I'm getting older, I need to put dude, 9 years ago, I could have just read that and been fine. Now I have to bring it closer. I'm like, oh no, am I aging?
Join the club, man.
Winner receives a medal and a free half-ounce THCA. Do you know if it's like sativa, indica? Is it like different flower?
Oh yeah, so we have sativa indica hybrid, very much like any dispensary that you're going to go to. Although it's THCA, it's a completely legal product, and yeah, that's the grand prize for the winner there.
Now you guys have the medical marijuana influencer Stay Green is Stay_Green on Instagram. Will be making an appearance there tomorrow. How did you guys get a hold of him?
Our owner Justin, I think he knows him pretty well.
Yeah.
and he's really well known around the area. I just saw an incredible joint that he rolled. It looked like an apple that was eaten. And it was incredible. I'd never seen anything like it. But apparently there's a real interest in this, and he's one of the best out there, and he's going to be judging our competition. He's a really great guy. Met him myself. He's really cool. And I think anybody that comes out is going to have a really great time with us.
How crazy is it over the last, let's say, I don't know, since the year 2000, just the transformation of marijuana?
It's been, it's been unbelievable. I mean, I remember back in 2000, I was just getting out of the Navy at that time, and even thinking that marijuana would be legalized was just like a ridiculous joke. I mean, there'd be no way that would happen, right? And then, with the Hemp Act and the Farm Bill and all the other types of permutations of marijuana that are out there that are 100% legal. I mean, this has just been a dream come true. I mean, I love marijuana. I loved it for my whole life, and it's fantastic. It's helped me with a lot of issues. It helps people every single day, and I'm glad to be able to provide it.
I used to be very hush-hush about it, and I've just gotten to a point where I want to lead the charge about talking about it, because I'm not going to film it. Because if I'm talking about it, you don't have proof that I'm smoking it.
Right.
I'm never going to actually show it on video. But I mean, it's just you got to get over it at some point. Because I do this thing on Happy Hour called Weed News, where I read things from marijuanamoment.com. And it's sometimes these politicians, I'll look at some of the headlines now. Some of these politicians are trying to prevent it from growing. And I'm like, just let it happen.
Absolutely. There's been headwinds all over the place. And, it's kind of sad that you have to, really think about, being on camera about that. That's too bad. But it's a real thing. I totally understand. But I think things are changing, and they're changing for the better.
I mean, look at this headline. This is where I think still things could be better. It says from marijuanamoment.net. Former marijuana prisoners who got clemency from Trump hold event outside White House to request relief for those still behind bars. And I've always thought that was kind of weird, was how like you'll get some of these people that are freed, but then there's people that have the same offense. It's like if you're going to free some of them, all of them should be free.
It makes zero sense. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, I don't know how you pick and choose there. I don't get it.
How good are you at rolling a joint?
Not very good. Nowhere near the level of some of the people that are going to be competing. But I can hold my own. But, I prefer other methods.
I was the one that would, when I was growing up as a teen, would help. How do I say this? I would help pay for it. I would give them money. I would go inside because some of my friends were like 2 years younger than me when I was 18 and they were 16. So I would allegedly buy the like cigar packs or whatever.
Right.
And that was my job, was to provide either money for it or like cigarillos or whatever we were smoking out of. But they were the ones that rolled. I wish my friends growing up could come to this, but they're all in Illinois and I don't really talk to them anymore.
Right.
With their joint rolling skills, I think I did it one time when I needed to, and I felt really successful when I smoked it. I was like, I did this. It wasn't the best, but I was smoking it like maybe 7 years ago.
That's great. That's great. Now they have these cones, right, that are like pre-done. Yeah. You can just stuff them
Susie
with a little
or whatever. Blaze and Susan.
Yes. Yeah. You can. It's way easier than when
it
I was
looks
coming
so
up.
classy too. When you roll it up in a Blaze and Susan, you feel so good about yourself.
Yeah, totally.
The other thing I want to ask you about marijuana is, are you a guy? Okay, so I noticed this thing with older people. It fascinates me. I'm not calling you old, but I'm saying I noticed this thing with Gen X and Boomers, and I want to say if you have any stories of like a lot of these people that were born in the 50s and 60s, they don't want to be caught smoking a vape or smoking a joint or a bowl because they think they're above it. But then the first time they get high, they'll eat like an edible. And then they get stoned out of their mind, and they think that's how weed is. I've seen it over and over again. These people are like, well, I'm getting older, so I want to try weed, but I don't want to smoke a joint, so I'm going to eat this whole cookie and have a panic attack.
Absolutely.
Like, what are you doing?
That totally happens. And not just that, but the beverages, too. So some of those THC beverages can really pack a punch.
Oh, it's the worst. If you're in a social setting and you're talking to somebody, and they're really chatty, and you don't know what they're saying, and I'm like, It's the worst.
And it just
I have
hits
to be
you out of
careful.
nowhere. Yeah, no, I get it, and it's much different. I mean, ingesting marijuana is a much different high than smoking.
I was working a festival about 6 weeks ago, and I drank one of those lemonades, one of the like ones that looks like an orange juice, one of those lemonades. I don't want to say what company. And about the first 90 minutes, I felt it. And then I was like, not really a crossing guard, but I was in charge of making sure that while the vendors packed up in the back, that no cars went down the street.
Outstanding.
And I'm in the middle, and some people that were in the front, and somehow a car went past me.
Really?
It worked out because they were telling them to turn around.
Right.
But I was like, my bad, my bad.
You had one job. No, I get it.
Dude, it was the worst.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And those edibles, the ingestible stuff can really creep up on you. And you bring a good point, the 90 minutes thing. I mean, it takes a good 90 minutes for it to hit you. And people get impatient and they drink more and they get impatient and all of a sudden, bam.
The worst is when you're tired. So if you've been up since like 5 a.m. and you're drinking one at like 6 p.m. and it starts going to 8 p.m. and you start getting that almost like panic attack drowsy. I don't know. It's weird where I just hate it where I almost have to tell other people that I am because then it's like if I start acting kind of like woozy, people are like, you okay?
Yeah.
But people kind of know that I'm sort of like a Pete Davidson vibe. Like I always am. So it's like, it's almost like Bender from Futurama. Like that's how you operate.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But it's all alleged. No one knows. I never smell like it.
Exactly. I mean, we've known each other a long time, and I'm very rarely do I see you that you're clearly intoxicated. That's just not the case. You hide it.
When I was drinking, though, drinking was a different story.
Drinking, nobody can hide. Yeah, that's and the cool thing about the funny thing about drinking is that everybody thinks they're good at hiding it, and nobody is.
Oh my God. I must have been. I think about the amount of times in this Tampa Bay area I went to different bars. The funniest memories is when I would be in like a crowd of 500 people at a bar. The funniest memory, bro, is walking at people's feet. There'd be some girl that's like not wearing shoes in a club in my big size 18, and you would just hear, and you're like, I'm sorry. It's like, well, you shouldn't be. That was the worst. That was at McDinnon's, I believe. It was like 2016. This girl was in so much pain. I
can only imagine. Getting stepped on by your foot would not be trivial, for sure.
All right, so tomorrow, let's go over the itinerary for tomorrow's smoke crawl. I have the poster right in front of me, and the poster will be the poster for this podcast episode. 420 crawl joint rolling competition featuring the judge Stay Green, Stay_Green on Instagram. In Palm Harbor from 1:30 to 2 p.m., I have to put the laptop closer to me again.
Yeah, you need to borrow my glasses?
35801 U.S. Highway 19, Palm Harbor, Florida. So that's from 1:30 to 2.
Correct, yes.
And then Clearwater is 3:30 to 4 p.m. at 2222 Main Street in Clearwater, correct?
That's my store.
Right after that, that's the one that sponsors Happy Hour. Right after that, Largo is 5:30 to 6 p.m., correct?
Correct. Uh-huh.
And then after that is 7:30 to 8 p.m. in St. Pete. And all of this is on the front page of RyanHappyRadio.com, and it's in the podcast description. Before I let you go, I want to just kind of ask you, is there anything you want to get off, not like your chest, but was there anything you were thinking about when you were driving here that you were like, I really want to say on the show? Is there anything that you want to talk about with the store or with weed or?
Yeah, one thing I did want to bring up is there is a bill that's going through the Florida legislature that's going to seriously curtail kratom and some different items. It's not a ban, but it is going to be restrictive to the point where it's going to hurt a lot of small businesses. And I just want people to know, do your own research, read about it, however you feel about it. That's the greatest thing in our country. You support it or don't. But I just want people to know that there are a lot of people in pain and a lot of people that are, struggling with addiction that are really helped by these things.
The thing is, I'm sick and tired of these stupid politicians. It's on both sides, but these stupid politicians that will look at fucking kratom from some ghetto gas station that causes somebody to OD. Well, they have 7 other fucking drugs in their body.
Exactly.
And then the media goes, oh, he died of kratom. No, I mean, rest in peace, Matthew Perry, but he didn't die of ketamine. He died of a shit ton of ketamine.
Totally.
I just can't stand when the media reports something and they're like, oh no, shut up. So the thing is, like, my thing is, if someone's addicted to kratom, that's their fault. You can also be addicted to alcohol. You can also be addicted to tobacco. You can also be addicted to candy. And I know kratom can have addictive moments, but what I'm saying is, because other people can handle their kratom does not mean that others should have to suffer and that it's postponed and that it's, put into like a restrictive category. Because essentially this bill that you're talking about wants it to be that the kratom has to be brewed and it can't just be like made then and there, which hurts a lot of businesses that make it then and there. And it's like, with this fucking economy we were given and all this bullshit that's going on in America, and I'm not getting political because I don't care, but I'm saying, if there's a way for people to make money and then you try to fuck that over, you can't be a politician and say you care about us.
Exactly. And it's not just about making money. Kratom literally saved my life. I mean, I was drinking myself to death after the military. Kratom literally saved my life. That's why I got so passionate about it, and that's why I really believe in this business. And I see it every single day. It helps people, and taking that away from them, it's just not right.
I will say there was about a year I was drinking kratom because my mom looked into how she didn't want me to drink kratom and whatnot. And out of respect for her, I stopped drinking kratom. But also, kratom got me off of alcohol. I was a drunk, and I went through an awful breakup, a public breakup. And when I was drinking kratom, I was able to get off of alcohol. And yes, there's the moments that you feel like you need more and more, but I just don't get why they care so much. Because like Frank the Kava OG, who I'm going to have on next week, and I'll talk to you about this, he told me that like they threw kratom on this bill last minute. Like it wasn't even on the bill.
Exactly.
And then one of the politicians who I think either has money in like Big Pharma or something was like, well, can you put the K word on here?
Yes. And one thing I wanted to bring up as well is we're all about harm reduction. All right. Elimination of harm. People are going to find addictive substances. They're going to do it. This is what it is to be a free person. But if we can give substances that are less harmful than going out and dying of fentanyl, that's to me is a plus.
And people need to know there's a difference between brewed kratom at places like Strange Cloudz or Clearwater, the Chill Room, the two places that I am friends with. There is a difference between that kratom and the stuff you get at a Sitco where it's in a bag. That stuff, that's why I almost like the bill. Like I like what it's sort of doing.
I totally hear you there.
I don't like where I think they're trying to go.
Yes.
I don't think they're going because I don't think they're going, okay, we're going to sign this bill, put some regulations on kratom, and that's it. I think it's a beginner step of them trying to ban it. And that's why I don't fuck with it, is the fact that it was last minute, that they put it on the bill. I mean, I think everything's going to be fine, because if I'm DeSantis, and if anybody knows DeSantis, you got to tell the guy that there are so many people whose livelihoods in this horrible economy where there's not a lot of jobs in Tampa Bay. This is a shit job market. There are not a lot of jobs around here. If people are able to get by, like Strange Cloudz, like the Chill Room, because of brewed kratom, and you have hardworking average Joes and hardworking millennials that go to work and they'll work their ass off, and maybe their one quote unquote vice is kratom, and that's their thing, and they go home and they go to bed. If that's their one thing, they should be allowed to do it. And the thing is, everybody goes, oh, well, people OD. I'll be honest, my mom's going to hate me for saying this. She almost died of kratom, but the problem was she was on 7 other drugs. And also, if she didn't try the kratom, she wouldn't have realized that she had brain aneurysms, and it fixed her. Kratom literally saved her life in a way because it gave her a bad reaction. That's the thing, too. I think the problem with kratom, the fucking problem with kratom, Richard, is that it can be bad if you're not supposed to be taking it. But that can go with anything.
Hoppe, you could OD on water, my friend. If you could drink too much water and it'll kill you.
If you're a diabetic, you shouldn't have sugar. The same thing goes with people. If you're on certain meds, if you take kratom and you overdose, that's because you're on the other meds. It's not because of kratom.
Yes.
I'm sick of it because I'll see in the news, this person overdosed on kratom, or people, they go to rehab for kratom. I'm sure there's someone who has gone to rehab for kratom before, but they were doing other things. I could go on for days and days. You are the guest here. I just felt this opportunity to talk about it.
I'm so glad you did.
I'm just so sick of it because people don't even realize, like, no one's ever drank kratom or kava or smoked weed and got into a fight. And if you are, you're like smoking sativa. Alcohol. This thing that sponsors everything. This thing that sponsors everything, dude. Alcohol is promoted. It caused fights, breakups, DUIs. No one's ever drank a kratom and been like, I want to go. I could go on for days.
Straight up death. Straight up death.
Yes.
I mean, it's not even close. You look at the numbers for kratom or kava, and then you look at the numbers for alcohol. It's not even close. That's why I'm talking about harm reduction. We need to give an opportunity for people to be able to do what they want to do, but reduce the harm in doing it, and reduce the harm to society in doing it.
Well, before I let you go, how can people find your store?
So we're on all the search engines. You just Google Strange Cloudz Clearwater. That's Strange Cloudz with a Z. We're one of 4 locations. We have one in Palm Harbor, one in Clearwater, one in Largo, and one in St. Pete. And we've been here in the community for years and years now. Pretty well known, well respected. We have great prices, and we have just really great people who are willing to help, willing to listen, and willing to give you their opinion on, how to help you with your specific needs. Or if you just want to hang out, shoot a game of pool, have something to eat. We're serving food now. You could do that as well. We're just really trying to provide a good community type of service that does not have alcohol. That's really our mission.
On playing and eating jelly. How are you going to top that? I'm going to do that. That's great. Yeah. Fun.
Now, how can people come by tomorrow?
So just Google Strange Cloudz Clearwater, or go to Google Maps and put in 2222 Clearwater, or 2222 Main Street in Clearwater.
Yeah.
You could do all of that. You can Those are the best.
It'll
ways to
also
get a hold
be
of
in the podcast description, and I'll have it as the profile picture. I'll put it on RyanHoppyRadio.com, and I will also put it as the description picture, the cover art for this episode.
Wonderful. And if you have any questions, if you want to get directions or anything like that, give us a call at 727-238-3127. We'd be glad to talk to you.
Richard, give us a final word before we sign off.
The final word is this. We are in a time now where alcohol, opiates, fentanyl, all of these extremely poisonous substances that have been readily available they're killing us. They're killing us, and we need to turn away from it. We need to look at other alternatives, particularly alcohol. Kava and kratom and marijuana, quite frankly, are all substances that are less toxic and that will provide a social platform that you don't need alcohol to turn to. You don't need that social lubricant of having a couple of whiskey sours. It's just not necessary anymore. Take a look at the sober movement running around the United States. Take a look at the alcohol-free movement running around the United States. It's just healthier. It's a better way of life. No hangovers. Think about it. Think about it. Whenever you hear about kava, kratom, or marijuana, think about those things and do your own research and decide for yourself.
Joker playing cruel pranks. Hoppy's hour almost done. Feels like robbery in banks. Ryan Hoppe on the mic, dropping wisdom in streams. Syndicated sorrow, now it's time to shatter dreams. Oh, the Hoppe hour is coming to a close. Radio waves fading like a wilting rose. Laughter and joy dissolving in the air, but we'll keep the rhythm. Oh, life's just so unfair. But the laughter's growing dim. Eardrums mixing Hoppe like fingers without rings. DHX to FM, shoutouts hit the street. But soon the sound will vanish like shadows in the heat. Oh, the Hoppe hour is coming to a close. Radio waves fading like a wilting rose. Laughter and joy dissolving in the air, but we'll keep the rhythm. Oh, life's just so unfair. But the laughter's growing dim. Eardrums mixing Hoppe like fingers without rings. DHX to FM, shoutouts hit the street. But soon the sound will vanish like shadows in the heat. Oh, the Hoppe hour is coming to a close. Radio waves fading like a wilting rose. Laughter and joy dissolving in the air, but we'll keep the rhythm. Oh, life's just so unfair. Oh, life's just so unfair. Like clockwork to a show. Now it's time to face the silence like the TV on snow. Ryan Hoppe held the mic with humor so divine. The void left in our hearts wider than a canyon line. Empty speakers, silent time, but coming to an end like a roller coaster stopping round the river's bend. Hoppe's jokes and jabs, these are daily grind. Now silence louder than the thoughts we can't rewind. Oh, the Hoppe hour is coming to a close. Radio waves fading like a wilting rose. Laughter and joy dissolving in the air, but we'll keep the rhythm. Oh, life's just so unfair. The Hoppe hour is coming to a close. Radio waves fading like a wilting rose. Laughter and joy dissolving in the air, but we'll keep the rhythm. Oh, life's just so unfair.
Happy hour. Happy hour.
RyanHoppyRadio.com.
And like that, he's gone.
Whenever we're going outside,
happy hour is now over. Game over.
This concludes our broadcast day. Good night, and God bless America.
Doors closing.